Apple CEO Tim Cook just announced he's stepping down in September after 15 years running the company, and the stock barely buzzed. But that small detail is probably the most important part of the story. Now, Tim Cook took Apple from a $350 billion company to a $4 trillion giant. That's the equivalent of a chef turning a popular local restaurant into a global franchise, and the food still hits the same. Now, he's passing things over to John Ternus, who has been Apple's hardware chief for the past 25 years. They didn't bring in some outsider that has to get adjusted to the company culture. They elevated somebody that's been on the front lines the whole time. Now, as an investor, the first thing I noticed was that Apple's stock dropped 2.5% the day after the announcement was made, but then they recovered those losses within 24 hours. And the reason being is because the transition was expected. Tim Cook will still be staying on as Apple's executive chairman, and analysts think that this will help boost earnings in the near future. Now, Apple still has some questions around them. They have been slow to adopt AI while their competitors have been running full speed. Microsoft, Google, and Meta have been spending billions of dollars on AI data centers, while Apple has been quiet, sitting on $300 billion in cash. But John Ternus is a hardware guy, and this move signals that Apple still believes that on-device AI is the way to go. That could mean smart glasses, that could mean AI AirPods, or maybe even home robots. So what does that mean for Apple's future? The succession is clean, Apple's fundamentals are still strong. Analysts believe that Apple could hit a high of $350 per share by the end of this year. But now the question is, can they innovate, not just optimize? And part of what made Tim Cook so successful is he turned Apple into a supply chain machine. But now John Ternus has to prove that Apple can still create the next wave, just like Steve Jobs did when he was running the company. So stay informed and stay invested. Until next time.